Hey there, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. And today we're going to talk about the energy of the astrology of the moon and what it is doing for the next 2 weeks. So that would be June 8th through the 14th. I will timestamp, and then we will cover June 15th through the 21st. And so we are walking out of that energy from that Eclipse in Sagittarius. Did you notice it? Okay, so I usually channel a message for everybody, but when I went to do that this week, I was given a great big collective message about those eclipses. We have 3 in a row. So we're finishing up the 21st. There's an eclipse in Cancer, and then there's another one on July 5th, but we just had that one on June 5th. And so the messages from Spirit were there. And this is interesting. So we are going to, I went to the Fairy Tale Oracle. So this is still Gemini season. And it's about telling stories to get you a special message. And you have Rumpelstiltskin. So it says secrets. So Rumpelstiltskin, he found out this guy could make, he said that his daughter could spin straw into gold. And so he had to Rumpelstiltskin could do that. So to get the, gosh, I can't find it in here. To get out of, okay, let's just start with here. The ancient tale is one in which haunts many, for who has not experienced the heroine's dilemma. The daughter of an ambitious and boastful miller is compromised in every way when he proclaims she can spin straw into gold. Of course, spinning is an art in itself, a valuable skill. And so he was like trying to make it sound like it was more than it needed to be because it was already a skill, right? But in the tale, the miller's daughter must bear the burden of the father's boast. She is taken by a king to a castle and locked within a room filled with straw and a single spinning wheel, and she must prove her father's boast true by presenting the king with gold in the morning or die. So she breaks down and weeps, knowing what she has been set to do is an impossible task, and then a small charming man, which would be like a gnome, appears and he offers to complete the impossible task and save her life. But in return, he wants her firstborn. So she agrees. He spins the gold. The time comes. She doesn't want to give up the child. The only way she could keep the child is she has to discover what his real name is. And then she happens to catch him dancing around the fire, chanting what his real name is. And so she's able to win, to keep her child. But I mean, that doesn't really seem fair in the long run because she agreed to do it. But anyways, so moral of the story are things like you have talents and gifts and they need to be valued for themselves. There's no reason, Spirit is saying, for you to worry about that you are not good enough. You are more than good enough. You are more than capable. And so this is about unkeepable promises. So there's that too, right? So, I mean, that was a horrible promise for her to have to make. Watch out for being misrepresented by somebody. But there are solutions to be found. But mostly this is about you're more than enough. You're more than enough. And so making promises that no longer serve you, because that all these eclipses would be about releasing yourself from situations that do not work for you. There is that. But also, there's no need to be anything other than who you authentically are, it feels like, right? But it was really unfortunate that her dad put her in such a terrible position. Poor 17. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into the astrology for the week. And let's just see how that plays in. This whole, not boasting because you put other people in a bad situation. Not being forced into promises that you shouldn't be forced into, that are just heartbreaking to have to keep. Being willing to set yourself free, being able to find solutions to problems that seem impossible. Okay, and I just heard, and help is all around you. So like Rumpelstiltskin appeared out of nowhere to help her when she really needed help. And so don't forget to ask for help from the people in your life and from spirit. I'm always in the right place at the right time with the right people for the right opportunities. And you have the bountiful nature. Okay, so we start out with the moon in Capricorn and on June 8th, and we're gaining our balance after that big release of letting things go, which would have been in your 11th house of, is that right? Yes, in your 11th house of groups and group activities. So maybe you were let go from a job, and it's about managing that situation of it was a big company, or maybe there's a friendship that's not working out, or maybe it's just this whole social distancing thing, and then you realize that there were people that you really didn't really miss, or maybe you didn't miss being on Facebook. I don't know. So figure out what it was, that wasn't working for you, and you're creating space in your life for new opportunities, new relationships that have more value to you to come into your life. And so it's about finding that balance. And so this bountiful nature says to go outside and get, grounded, spend some time out there, enjoy the beauty of nature. And so the way they're asking you to balance using the energy of the moon in Capricorn is to spend some time in nature, get your, go do some gardening, get your hands in the soil, go for a walk, saltwater baths. But there's this need to ground and really, it feels like being out in nature is the thing. But I also want to say this is about you being a bountiful nature yourself. You are more than enough. There is more than enough. You don't need to be more than you are. You have a bountiful nature is what I heard. Okay, so, look at this. This is beautiful. So Mercury is going into shadow, and so it is time to focus on the projects you already have going, maybe not necessarily starting new ones. This Mercury in retrograde will affect the water signs probably the most, especially Cancer. Capricorn might get it. But I feel like for the most everyone else, there's so many other things going on. The Mercury retrograde, you'll notice it, but it won't be a really big deal. So that being said, emotional communication is still going to be muddled and murky, and it's like people talking underwater, so you have to really listen with all your senses. What are they saying? What do they look like when they're saying it? Read between the lines. Are you hearing? So a couple of things you can really do to help yourself out with any kind of communication over the next 6 weeks till July 12th would be, and actually it's still in shadow for a few weeks after that, but would be to, of course, anything that you've written, does it say what you want to say? And if you read it back to yourself, will the person that's getting the message understand what you're trying to say, or did you leave out a word or a phrase, or, so just double checking that. I lost my thought. Not the Mercury's going in retrograde, I think. Okay, so that's Mercury in retrograde. Being aware that the other person is also going to be struggling to understand, and so having patience with other people who can't manage it because maybe they aren't aware of it. So the other thing about this is this energy of trying to bring in your projects into balance. So not spending a lot of time on things that are yielding little for you. So managing your time and putting your effort into the areas that will yield the biggest results for you. So those are just a couple things. Now, this moon is going to move into your sign of Aquarius at 8:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here in the United States on Monday. And shortly thereafter, it's going to come into a square, which is a very difficult angle with your ruling planet of Uranus over there in Taurus. And so, again, being grounded is going to be very helpful. But sudden insight, I think, around the tension that you're feeling about the changes that are happening. So it's about being able to break old habits and replace them with the new habits, the new methods, the new ideas. And you're being challenged to move out of complacency into this you have new life. You have new life. So big change coming. So it is about a change of perception. What is beautiful? Also, notice flowers, butterfly. person's face. It is a change of perception about what is important to you, what is your value system, and I believe that these eclipses are really going to be punctuating that, and the resilience of the human nature, of knowing that when you cut back and cut out the things that don't work, then you have new growth in that area, and so nothing is lost. It's just time to move on, move past, to release, and so there's a lot of energy going on with that. On Thursday, the moon is going to move into Pisces at 5:32 in the morning. And now comes kind of like an emotional release. It's a chance that this is the emotional release of escaping through your imagination, through your fantasies, through your visualization to create the world you want. And so what is it that you want your life to look like? And escaping emotionally that way into seeing into the future, reaching for what it is that you want based on what you've experienced already. Okay, I don't want that. That didn't work. Here's what I'd really like to look for. This is what I'd like it to look like. I'm being willing to escape into the future so that you can soar with joy. Look how beautiful that is. Like, allowing yourself to set yourself free to go in the direction you want to go. It's this childlike wonder fills my life. This isn't about necessarily being where you want to be, but seeing the possibility of it and having fun along the journey at each step along the way. Being grateful for the people that have come into your life that have taught you these really, really hard lessons, because now you know what doesn't work. And so now you're open to like, oh, this is what I want. And these are soulmates that you had agreements with. And so not being angry or upset, releasing the anger and resentment over it, because you were being divinely guided and protected through this process, as were they. Irregardless of what your relationship may now be, you all learned something, you know? And so this group, this larger group outside of, you know, your immediate family, whatever this is, that there's some kind of I just heard the word toxicity that you need to leave behind, and chains. I've seen somebody unshackle themselves, and so it might not even be that it was toxic as much as it kept you from soaring into new heights of who you are and into your joy. It might have been just holding you on the ground instead of letting you fly to, wow, go forward and be who you are. You have 4 cards. You have 4 cards. So, okay, so soaring into joy, you have delight. So this is the moon in Aries, and the moon in Aries, you know, might bring a little frustration because nothing's moving very fast. So go outside, get in touch with nature, have some fun. Yes, forgive. This is forgiveness. Forgive yourself for getting in a situation where you're like, oh, I should have known better. No, you weren't supposed to know better, or you wouldn't have gotten into that situation. Also, forgive the people that, you know, they were there to help you. They were soulmates to teach you. And this will help you to bring about the inner peace. When you can find that sense of forgiveness of yourself and others and start looking for the beauty. Look how beautiful that is. Look for the beauty in what's going on and notice the abundance. This is abundance. So you have bountiful nature and you have abundance. I feel like the abundance of what you want is coming to you. I feel like this has so much more to do with than just being outside. I feel like maybe getting outside and seeing how many things, you know, how many plants there are and the variety of them might serve as a reminder to you that there is a variety of people, there's a variety of opportunities, there's an abundance of everything if you look for it, absolutely, but not necessarily that it's just about the nature, but I think it's about the message. Right? The perception, the message that you get that comes to you from all of this is what I feel like is the important thing. What is this doing here? Well, that is the wrong card. I need that one going forward. So who knows what I put here. Okay, so let's go ahead and timestamp. It is 14:30. All right, so let's get into the second week. So the second week, this noticing, this paying attention to what is going on around you. Oh, that was the right card. The letting go of things that need to let go, looking for the joy, the abundance, the beauty, allowing yourself to feel the inner peace because of the forgiveness. Just having the fun. This is how you push through your resistance. I feel like so often we cling to old ideas or old paradigms or whatever, and I think this eclipse is really there to help you, to allow you to push through that. And then the next eclipse that's coming up on Sunday or Saturday is there for you to figure out where you want to go next. And so go ahead and push through your resistance and let that stuff go to make space for the new things, the better things that are coming your way, right? So, what do we get? So we start with on Tuesday, the moon gets into Taurus at 5:35 in the morning. And really, this is where we negotiate with ourselves. Like on the inner plane of, okay, I can see that there is changes happening. I can't make it happen as fast as I wanted to or the way I wanted to. And so I'm just going to be at peace with divine timing and orchestration. Because in order to bring in what you want, you have to allow spirit to get the pieces in place. And so release the timing. So the how and the when to spirit. See all those butterflies? That's physical transformation in your life. Something is shifting on a very physical level. Physically, emotionally, maybe. But it feels like it could be around a job. It could be about where you live. It could be about, you know, the people in your life or the situation. It's a change that's happening very much in the manifesting and very much in the present. Like you can see it. You can physically kind of see, oh, I'm hanging out with different people now, or I have a different job, or I'm moving. It's that kind of, wow, that's interesting. Oh, that, really? What was that one? Huh. What are these? Okay. So these are not the primary messages, but they were sticking out there. So we have the wasp spirit, which says sometimes life stings. Obviously, change is not always comfortable, and especially when we're talking about a group situation, people talk crap behind your back if they don't, oh, blah, 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 whatever. What your opinion about me or how I live my life or the things that I do is really none of my business. And if you have a problem with it, it is your problem. It's not mine, because I am soaring into joy. I am moving into my new life. I am choosing delight and abundance, and I forgive you for not knowing better. You're only human, and I am focusing on my inner peace. And so whatever crap you've got going on, that's your problem. We also have life is speeding up, and so a couple of things going on there, but they don't feel like the important message. This one was the one that really wanted to come out, and it says learn from the past. Learn from the past. So this is that recognizing that you don't have total control of everything, that situations, recognizing when situations happen that just don't feel very appropriate, that aren't working for you, and recognizing the signs and the signals, the symptoms of the disease, right, to move away from it because it's just not working for you anymore. And so choosing you. Also, when I see the elephant remembers. It remembers what it's like to be a child. Like, it remembers the lessons from childhood. Remember when life was fun and easy because you had a lot less things that you were worried about? If you can kind of tap into that energy and allow yourself to feel at peace, you know, that would be such a beneficial thing. So what did you used to do when you were a kid that you really enjoyed that you could kind of replicate right now? You know? Find a way to enjoy things. Oh, this is so beautiful. Okay, so the moon is going to move. First off, we have Mercury going retrograde on Thursday the 18th at 12:59 a.m. We've already pretty much covered Mercury. You know, this is definitely communication from the heart that is going to be requiring extra effort to be clearly transmitted and received on both sides. So just because somebody says something, don't take a moment to say, is that really what they want? Or even ask, is okay, so what you're saying, so So you're saying this, like reflect back to them just to double check before you get upset about something, that it could just be the words were complicated and not coming out right because of Mercury, okay? So patience is going to be required. This is a time when we all want to be moving faster, but it's picking up speed, but it's not going very fast. And so being willing to rest and making sure that you get enough rest and surrender again. Surrender the timing, the how and the when to spirit. But this is beautiful. This abundance card that we have here, and this bountiful nature, you have healing and abundance are coming to you. Healing and abundance are coming to you. This, it feels like the healing of an emotional situation, and I think it's the abundance of self-love, which raises your vibration, which attracts in more opportunities for you. Now, this eclipse is in Cancer. It's at 0 degrees of Cancer, which is so powerful whenever it's at 0 degrees of anything. And for you, Cancer is your 5th house? No, it's not. Hold on. It's your 6th house. It's your 6th house of work-life balance. And so, yes, it's your 6th house of work-life balance. And so there's this need to take the lessons that we've learning from the past, or the last little bit where, you weren't running and gunning so hard. And what did you enjoy about it? Okay? Like, you couldn't have hated every moment of it. Although you were probably frustrated with being stuck in place, but there were things you did like about it. So integrating those things into your life going forward too will help you with the healing process. So this new moon, so the sun moves into Cancer, so happy birthday Cancers, at 5:44 p.m. on Saturday. This is the summer solstice if you're in the northern hemisphere, the winter solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere, which means it's either the longest day or the shortest day of the year, depending on where you are. It is it's so powerful. When it's at 0 degrees, this is the direction I'm heading in. For the last 18 months or so, we've been dealing with this North Node in Cancer, and the nodes are what creates the eclipses. And it's been about learning to love ourselves, fill up our cup of love, our bucket of love ourselves, and have enough to spill out into the world. And this is kind of like your graduation ceremony. So where do you want to go from here with this sense of I'm worthy of love, and I love myself, and I forgive myself for not knowing better, I forgive others. And where do you want to take this energy? Where do you want to move it forward? You have got some kind of big prosperity coming. Look at this. It says prosperity lies ahead. This new moon is about releasing, because we have Hera here for the moon in Cancer. This is about letting go of jealousies and insecurities and getting in the flow of life. But we also have the moon in Pluto for this 0 degrees, which is big, deep emotional transformation. And so you have prosperity lies ahead. And this card, at this point, this is about isolation, but a new beginning. And so I really feel like this is emotional prosperity ahead, and the emotional feeling at home with who you are, knowing who you are and what's important to you, and feeling valued in the climate that you choose to live in, the climate of people, like who you are associating with. So you have embracing, which doesn't that look like a relationship thing there? Like they're leaning into each other, but they're both reaching for the sun on their own. This is interdependence, right? This is, I support you, you support me, but I am my own entity. I embrace and love all of my life. My life is a miracle. Miracles are coming. There is something happening here. You have, your answers are being given to you. Quieting the external voices and excessive noise will give you the chance to hear what is being offered. Don't listen to the crap going on around you. Listen to your heart. Listen to your soul. Your higher self is trying to take you in the direction that would feel joyful, this new opportunity, this new life for you, this sense of abundance. I really feel like this forgiveness card is so important. When we can forgive ourselves, trust me, after that, forgiving everybody else becomes really easy. It's like, I should have known better. I wish I had, and I should. No, you were learning. You were learning. You didn't do anything wrong. You weren't supposed to know. You figured it out when you were supposed to. You're right on time. You're right on time. Okay? So, now that you have that information, now that you have these opportunities, now that you have all this support, what do you want? And where would you like to go? And then asking for and allowing Spirit to help you and guide you on the next steps, putting you in the right place at the right time with the right people. Okay, so we are definitely talking about some serious emotional stuff here. I am a clear channel of love, light, and well-being. All of my heart's desires are realized now. This is clear quartz. Multiplying goodness and well-being, amplifying loving kindness, increasing clarity, peace, and understanding, improving clarity of mind and emotions. This one also came out, copper, which is excellent. Be a clear conduit for messages and inspiration, complete inventions, formulas, and creative works, amplify courage and confidence. But the first one that came out was this blue lace agate. This is about that Mercury retrograde, making it hard to communicate and requiring a little extra effort on your part, cognizantly feeling what other people are saying. That wasn't very clear. Could you say that to me another way? Right? So it is easy for me to express myself. I am understood, and I hear what others are communicating. Speak the truth, listen well, have courage to say what you need to say, be heard, read between the lines. So we have two here about courage. And courage didn't really show up anywhere else. But I really think it takes a lot of courage to turn out the crap around you and listen to your heart and what really matters to you. So those looks very good. I really like the direction this is heading in for you. So Aquarius, you have a great month. If you'd like more information that's personalized, I do personalized readings. Details are below. Otherwise, I will see you back here next week, and we'll talk about the sun in Cancer and how that energy is going to apply to your life. But I think we'll be talking a lot about that work-life balance. Just saying. All right, you take care. We'll talk soon.